Back to my live. In fact, it's my last live from up the mountains here in Austria. I think many of you have been following on my stories on Les Earle Me will know that I was out this morning, really cold, unbelievable snow, so much snow. It's ridiculous. It just keeps coming down, the whole thing. If you could see out of my window here, it's just completely white. Anyway, went out, came back, made it safe, which is all good. Nice to see you all. Hi Lainey. Hi there, Christine Dumby. Oh my gosh, so many. Today we have a fab female founder joining us, Misty Reich, and I'm going to be extremely interested in this because it's all about stressed skin. And I have to tell you, my skin is quite stressed at the moment. I'm eczema prone and I'm finding that the dry mountain air is really triggering my skin. So if you would like a little bit of help for dry, sensitive skin, let's talk about all the different skin stressors, hormonal skin changes, for example, pop a little question down there on the comments and I will attempt to cover as much as we can, okay? Also, very excitingly, I know that lots of you love this range, 35,000. I absolutely have become healthily addicted to it. We do have very special 25% off just until the end of April. So really generous, Misty. Thank you. I shall click you on to join us in just a moment. I'm just going to add here Lainey from my team because she will be there if there are any questions from Earle Wellbeing side, then obviously she will be able to get back to you on that as well. And then, hi, nice to see so many of you joining, so many hearts. Thank you. Lovely to see you all. Right, let's get Misty in the room. Misty will talk to us about... So, hi, Kim. Nice to see you. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sandy. Hi there. Yeah, very good. Yeah, no, it is. It's bright, but it's cold here. And my skin, I think because there's very little humidity up the mountain, I think that's the issue. So my skin gets really dry. I do actually come with a little portable humidifier to try and get a bit more kind of moisture in the atmosphere. Where are you, Misty? I accepted you. Let me see. Maybe I have to do again. Accept. Here we go, hopefully. Hopefully that will work. Hopefully there won't be any delay like we had last time. So I know a couple of lives ago, actually, we had a bit of a delay on the line. So if that happens, we'll just try and kind of keep a pause so that we don't talk over each other. It doesn't look as if you're joining here, Misty. I am accepting you. Oh, it says you're unable to join. Sometimes when that happens, you have to log out of Instagram and log back in again. So maybe that will work. I hope so, because Misty has a lot to say. And in fact, I will give her a little bit of brand story, just as a bit of a background. So the reason that the whole brand is called 35,000, and you can check it out actually if you want to online. I think it is, where are we here? Yeah, 35,000. That's the number 35,000.com. So that's where you'll find all the information about it. But it was all tested at 35,000 feet. So Misty was a corporate high flyer, literally spending so much time off and on aeroplanes. And she had a lot of the cabin crew test it, figuring that if a few key skincare pieces could work well at 35,000 feet, where our skin is really stressed and out of sorts, then it would work at ground level. And I have to say, I think the thing is genius. This is the one that I'm particularly keen on. It is called All in a Day Serum. It does 3 things at the same time. Multitasking, we love all that. So it's got hyaluronic acid in it, so it's like a skin serum. It's also slightly tinted. I'm wearing it at the moment. And it's got an SPF 30. So genius. Just pop some on the back of my hand here. So yeah, this is the one that, I guess this was my sort of entry point really. But there's also a really lovely cleansing balm and a really radiant cream, which is also excellent because it's really rich. So here we go, Misty. So I'm going to try you again here. 35,000, accept. Let's see, you're there. Okay, Misty, maybe you might need to try, oh, yes, joining, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hello.
Hello. Holy technical difficulties.
It's fine. We're all calm. It's
Listen,
no
girl, you knew
problem.
what was what. You said, get out, come back in, and that was what did the trick.
That did it. You know, Instagram gremlins, they honestly, they challenge us all the time.
I
But
know.
we made it work. Where are you, my love?
So I'm in Spain.
Are you?
Yes, in fact, I'll
You
send you a
do
little
you
more.
do get around a bit, don't you? Kind of just
Yeah, I don't know. I can't seem to stay in one place. I think that it's just sort of my thing.
yeah. Well,
And thankfully, my husband will come along.
excellent. Well, that's always nice to have a good travel companion. But is that kind of how you came to develop 35,000? Because you're
Yes,
always on the go, you're
yes,
flying a lot,
exactly.
you know, you've got a job that has, you know, taken you all
Yeah.
over. And
I mean, I set out to find a job that would let me travel. That was a goal of mine. I was an exchange student in Paraguay when I was 16
wow.
years old.
Cool.
I didn't even know where Paraguay was until I went there. But that just opened up to me. It was like there's a door that opened when I went and there was no going back. I am someone who needs to go. I just get energized by travel, by
Travel bug.
seeing the world in different places. So yeah, my corporate career, over 2 million air miles, over 20 years, and
Wow.
who knows how many cars and planes.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of travel.
Well,
And that's where
I
that came from.
very much enjoy traveling too, and I do find different, you know, not only different time zones, different climates can really stress the skin. I know a lot of us are thinking about, you know, already summer and traveling a bit more as we can now, thank goodness, and really supporting the poor beleaguered travel industry. That actually it does stress our skin. I was in Kenya earlier this year, and you know that is very different. That's on the equator. It's very humid. But my skin was really suffering, and actually this was fantastic because it had the
Yeah.
SPF 30
Yes.
and the hyaluronic acid. Here, I'm in Austria. It's very high altitude, obviously, because it's a ski region, and all the glare from the light. There isn't much sun today, but it's absolutely white. So
Yes.
that glare that comes is is really going to stress my skin, isn't it? Because of
It
all the
is.
UV.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that intensity, you're exactly right, of the reflection, even though it doesn't seem, it's not like you're right by the equator and you're
Reflection.
experiencing the
Yeah.
heat, but the dry air, the altitude too, you must
Yeah.
be, really experiencing that.
Do you know this has been a lifesaver?
Oh,
This is absolutely genius. The really radiant cream. Hydrate, plump and go. I want to know what you've got in it because my
it's
skin, I've been getting eczema coming up on my chin. I've covered it up with a little bit of concealer, but this has really helped and it hasn't triggered my skin. My skin is obviously very sensitive. So I was
yes,
a little bit nervous about putting it on, but it's been completely fine. In fact, if anything, it's calmed it.
it is. And it's got, one of our core ingredients is that frankincense, which is a powerful anti-inflammatory. So that reaction that you've got in your skin, that irritation,
Yeah.
whether it's eczema, psoriasis. We also have one of our customers is a leukemia survivor, and she had a stem cell transplant, but she has graft versus host disease, and her skin burns from the inside out because it's not her DNA, right? And so she's forever battling that, and she's with MD Anderson. The hospital in Houston has asked her how she's turned her skin around, and it's that one product.
Really, it's this one. Okay.
Absolutely, the really radiant cream. It's got it's got marula, it's got vitamin
Love marula
E,
oil.
it's got all of our core actives, which you referenced, the 7 actives in our OTG7 complex.
Yeah,
we're all based on flying.
All based on flying. Now, I want to know about this because I do forensically look at labels, all sorts, food, skincare, everything. And this has got a unique complex. You call it OTG7.
Yes.
So what is that? Because you use that throughout the range.
In every product, even the cleanser, which typically with cleansers, you don't have actives because it's a rinse off product, but because we made the cleanser to be a leave-on balm mask as well, we put all the actives. But the complex is 7 active ingredients that are all targeting the 7 key environmental stressors that are present wherever you are in day-to-day life, but they are super intense when you're flying in that metal tube.
7 stressors. Okay, like the 7 deadly sins. Tell us what the 7 stressors are for the skin.
7 stressors of skin, absolutely. So a disrupted circadian rhythm, which you get if you travel to different time zones, but we get sitting in front of our screens having poor sleep hygiene, staying up late, you know, not having that sleep hygiene. So the circadian rhythm, when your circadian rhythm internally is off, your skin cells don't turn over at the rate that they need to, which gives you that dull, sort of like exhausted looking skin. And so that's one, and we use Korean bush clover as a powerful active to help your skin reset, your cells to reset to the right timing.
Korean bush clover. I've never heard of that, Missy. That sounds very exotic.
It is super exotic. So the circadian rhythms, dehydration, which you're experiencing and you know, big ones for me that really trigger my skin are bacteria and cortisol spikes.
Right.
And particularly for people who get the breakouts or the irritation around here, a lot of times that's cortisol. That's the hormone, cortisol.
Oh, really? If you get pimples and spots around here.
Particularly, like I get cystic acne, like the big painful lumps in here, and that's triggered by stress. And, you know, obviously flying, you're at heightened awareness going through airport security, but sitting in traffic, being in an environment
anywhere, traffic jams. Yeah,
you're out of your normal routine. So even if this is a wonderful trip for you, your body is at heightened alert because this is not your normal cadence and rhythm. So you'll have some additional cortisol spiking, which will flare up and give you some inflammation. And that bacterial exposure in flight, we thought that it was because of the surfaces, you know, like the bathroom, chairs, the tray table, but it's actually coming more from being in those crowds of people around you who have different bacteria.
Right.
So you've traveled
swapping bugs.
Bacteria, and it's stuff that your microbiome, your skin microbiome, is just not familiar with it. And that may be a trigger for you. And we've got a prebiotic, chicory root is what we use for the prebiotic in our complex. And it is really effective. So while you're there, Liz, try to overdose on mist. You know, give it a good shake.
I got the mist. I absolutely love the mist. I was going to use it actually, do a little live demo. Love the color too. Isn't that so great? And do you know, these pumps, they are so concentrated.
Yes.
And again, you know, when you're traveling, you can take, you know, just these little 4 with you.
That's the idea.
You know, they really are, and they all fit into hand luggage. And in fact, you know, you can get them in these, that you get the little that comes, and you've probably seen the little cloth as well that comes with it. But the mist has got so many lovely things in it. So it says rinse, tone, and hydrate. So I'm going to give myself a little spritz. Let me just show you. Can you see how fine it is? You probably can't even see that.
It took us a long time to find that particular mist nozzle.
Yeah, clever. Very clever.
It doesn't have the one stream poking your eye out.
You've got the pumps, and then here you've got the same canister, but with a super fine mist. And I do know, having spent a little bit of time in my past life working on skincare packaging, how hard it is to find a really good mist. So well done.
It took us 2 years. It was tough going. And those bottles are all sugar cane, which environmentally friendly.
Are they?
But
so they're not even
lightweight. You know, they're not.
And they are very light, very, very light.
Very lightweight.
You know, they're not going to weigh down your hand luggage. You'll be, you know, a lot to carry around. So what is in here?
So the mist has the hyaluronic.
So it's got hyaluronic acid in it again.
It does, and it's got the complex, all 7, and the OTG7 stands for on the go. That's how
on the go
uncreative we were. OTG7.
I love it. It's not uncreative. It's genius.
But that mist in particular, if you're on public transport, if you are in a new environment, just topping up with that mist, I think the prebiotic on that alone will really help from the flare-ups that you get from bacteria, the inflammation, whether it's the eczema, the psoriasis, the acne, the breakouts, those kinds of things.
What about hormonal change? Because obviously, you know, a lot of us here are midlife. You know, we may well be struggling with fluctuating hormones and hormonal change.
Yeah, I'm with you. I celebrated my 50th in December.
Excellent.
And I went through menopause at 46. And it was full on, and my skin definitely changed. My skin cannot drink enough. I don't know about you, but it's like I'm constantly topping up with the mist, with just super hydrating ingredients. But that's where I think that the vitamin E's and also the oils that we've chosen, so the squalene, the marula, the camellia, they don't trigger breakouts. They're non-comedogenic, but they're super luscious in terms of just hydrating the skin and holding that moisture. And then, as you know, I know you talk about this a lot, but different weights of hyaluronic acid. So we've included multiple weights. Some hyaluronic acid sits on the top and fills in those little lines, and the smaller weight can actually get in underneath the skin a little bit better. So yeah, I think that you do have to pay a lot more attention now, don't we? Like our skin, it changes with hormones. It changes with hormones when we're teenagers too. So I guess it's just
I mean, you know, that is a fact of being a woman, you know, and we get so many changes throughout our life stages with estrogen, particularly, you know, driving not only through puberty and teenagers, as you say, but, you know, pregnancy and postnatally, and you know, then of course, you know, later on perimenopausally and menopausally.
And one of the big issues I think that's not talked a lot about, but perimenopause, menopause, there's a slowing of your metabolic processes, which we all recognize in terms of our fitness. It's a little bit harder to stay in shape. It's a little bit harder to, you know, keep your tummy in the shape that it once was, but that applies to your skin. You know, it's your biggest organ, and the cells of your skin also want to slow down. And we have an ingredient, that's red algae, that's like a little booster pack that helps your skin cells, sort of zhuzh them, wakes them up a little bit, which I don't know if you've noticed with the Radiant Cream, when you put it on clean skin, it gives you a little bit of a rosiness. It gives you a little bit like a, I don't know, if you went for a walk, you get a glow, because it's actually activating.
I can see my skin. I mean, I can see my skin here. I haven't got very much makeup on. And obviously I'm sitting in front of a nice light, as always, but, you know, my skin is glowing. Given, you know, I've been here not quite a week, and my skin is stressed. It's very dry. My eczema is flaring. And I have to say, you know, I have been relying on these. I'm really, really impressed, genuinely impressed.
Good. Well, I'm glad that you love them. Your audience, I say this all the time, but your audience are the most educated customers that we have. They ask the best questions. They know their skin. They know how to advocate for their skin. And yeah, it's wonderful.
Well, Karen's saying here, I can just see on the comments, love the serum. It's the best of its kind I've ever used. You know, and what's interesting is not only is it a serum, but don't forget that it's also got the tint, so it's evening skin tone, and it's got your SPF 30. So I love it. I mean, I use it when I'm in London all the time, because for me, it's like an environmental barrier. I get up in the morning, clean my face, I shove this on, literally, and I'm just going to rub it all over. And then I usually go out for a run or a walk. And I just like to know that I've got something on my skin. So if I bump into anybody, I don't look like, you know, completely dreadful. I look like I've made some sort of effort. But my skin is also protected, and it's got the hyaluronic acid on, you know, the whole thing. It just works. It's so quick, and it's
well, that's why we called it all in, because it's like we threw everything in. We're like, if you're going to have one product that you're going to take with you, that you're going to depend on,
that's
just
the one.
put everything in there. It's everything that you need for the day, and it doesn't feel sticky. This was the other thing. It took us a long time. It's a mineral SPF. It's zinc, and yet it doesn't feel heavy and sticky. And you know, I've been here. The sun's been really intense, and so I put an SPF 50. I can only use mineral. But you know what a mineral SPF 50 feels like? It feels like a diaper ointment.
I have got for my boys who tend to go out and ski all day and don't, you know, I always say to them, don't forget, top up your sunscreen, but of course they don't. So I've got some PCA sun care, which is SPF 50, which is really heavy duty, but their faces are white, you know. I mean, it's great for, you know, extreme sports. It's good, and the skin is protected, but you couldn't use that every day. No way.
Well, here's the tip: is that you can put on that, and then you can layer. This will layer beautifully on top of it, and it only boosts your protection, and it gives you that warm glow. It offsets that white cast from the really thick, you know, mineral. I tried a chemical SPF again this year. I'm just desperate for an SPF 50. That's lightweight, and it just breaks me out and makes my eyes water so much. I haven't found one, so I'm stuck with the heavy mineral SPF 50 when I'm in intense sun.
Exactly. I'm just reading an interesting question here, which is to do with, you know, spots and breakouts, a lot of chat around that area. And your team here commenting, which is really interesting, saying that one of the ingredients you use is neurophyllene.
Yes.
That you use to de-stress the skin. Let's talk a little bit about that, because anybody watching in catch up won't actually see the questions that are popping up. So it might be interesting just to address that one.
Yes, so that is what we use to address the cortisol spikes. Oh. And it actually is from a wild indigo flower. Everything is plant-based. Plants are amazing. These are like super survivor extreme plants, but it actually has a neuropeptide that when it sort of blocks your skin from getting excessive with the cortisol. And really helps. Cortisol and bacteria, I think, are the biggest triggers for acne. And so I think for each one of us, just paying attention to where are we getting our breakouts. Again, I think the hormonal ones come in like in the mug and on the jaw. And do you think that it's bacterial, or do you think that it's hormonal? If it's hormonal, it could be excessive estrogen, worth talking to your doctor. Sometimes we don't flush our estrogen properly, or it could be cortisol. And you'll notice if you have periods of stress, if your breakouts get more intense, then it's probably cortisol.
It can be such a baddie. I really want to talk about these stressed plants, because you've reminded me there. Some of these plants that you use in your skincare range are so interesting. And I think we might have spoken about this before, but when a plant is grown at very high altitude or in extreme kind of tropical conditions, the skin has to, the plant has to produce a lot of anti-stress components to protect it. And it's those anti-stress components in the plant extract that can help protect our skin from stresses. Have I got that right?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorites is this pea protein that we use. It's a phytoprotective pea protein to help with blue light radiation exposure, which we have exposure to radiation right now in front of our phone, but also, you know, all the screens, you know, obviously there's environmental radiation, ionizing radiation, which you can't do anything about, which is more extreme when you fly, but it's present day in, day out. But these pea proteins are extracted from a plant that's underneath a waterfall, and it survives and thrives as this waterfall is flushing down. So it is a hardy plant that they can extract these proteins from, and it's got super antioxidant responsiveness and really helps to activate your own natural photosensors in your skin, which help protect against UVA. So it's a little more of a booster on top of our zinc in the SPF, but it's in all of our ingredients. It's in all of our products. But yeah, these plants are so amazing. Sometimes we try to get too cute with it all.
Comment here from Stephanie, who says the mist is incredible. That's the one that I've just used. My husband has started using it, and my 17-year-old daughter always takes the all-day serum from me. I can't live without the serum. I use it daily and in every travel bag. Gosh, yeah, you know that you've got a good thing when your daughters feel them.
We do hear a lot about that. Well, that's a good mom, though. Yeah, keep it stocked. Yeah. I had a friend write to me the other day and tell me that she's got a new hack with the SPF, is that after she's done everything for her face, she'll go back with just a tiny bit of it and touch over, you know, her concealer, you know, where sometimes you get that concealer blending thing that the SPF, that just the tint of it, the warmth of it just helps to blend it in with the rest of your face and kind of get rid of the creasiness.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice tip. I mean, I do. I mean, I use it daily. And, you know, if I'm doing a photo shoot or something and I want a thicker look, a heavier makeup, then I will put foundation over the top. But very often I'll just use this on its own. Yeah. Can see a question here from Claire saying, are the products okay to use on eczema, dermatitis, eyelids, eye creases, etc.? All I say is, obviously, we're all different. So do a patch test, obviously, always. But my eczema has been flaring up on my chin. And I don't know if you can see, but
It looks good to me from here.
I'm really impressed with, and I've been using everything. I've been using the whole range since
Yeah.
I've been here.
Well, and we send, just since everyone's here, we're amongst family, we always send out sample sachets with our products so that you can patch test before you open up the bottle. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I think that's such a good point. They've all been dermatologically tested.
I've got the little sachets here. I wondered. I just thought they were little freebies that came in my bag.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you open a skincare product,
see how you get on with it, and there's enough in here for at least a good couple of goes, I would think.
3, yeah.
And then you haven't opened your pack, and you can send it back.
Absolutely,
Seriously good. That's great.
The hot tip on those sachets that someone told me is if you had a needle or a little pinpoint, to not rip the top of it open, to pinprick it with a clean, sanitized needle. Yeah. And that way you can just take out, there's 3 doses in there. It should last you a few days. And you could just take out a little bit. That trick before. Keep it sealed.
To pinprick a sachet, and then you could just get a little paper clip or whatever and just kind of fold it.
Yeah, and then it won't oxidize. Yeah. Yes, so definitely patch test. Yeah. They've all been dermatologically tested for sensitive skin, but you're exactly right. I mean, we absolutely encourage, and if you need to try a sample, just let us know. You got to try it.
Absolutely incredible. I can see actually that your team are really on it when it comes to answering questions. How do we best contact you? Because I think, you know, if anybody wants to have, has a query, do you do direct message on Instagram, website? What's the best thing?
You can direct message, or you could write, you can email it if that's easier, contact or at 35000.com.
Great.
I'm Misty at 35000. Yeah. We're on DM all the time. We love getting messages, and we get some of the best questions, really specific questions from your audience around their particular skin challenges. And if we don't have the answer, we go and research it and get the information for you.
Fantastic. Jo is very late to the party here. She says, what skincare is this, please? We are talking, Jo. We're just wrapping up, actually. 35,000. You can find it 35000.com. That's the number, 35000.com. And very generously, until the end of April, if you're watching this in real time, you have given us all 25% off.
Yes.
Which is
we love
a big heart.
We love your audience so much. We love your fans. They're just the best. And,
we'll be restocking. I tell you, I'll be restocking because I'm getting through it here. My skin is absolutely loving it, drinking it. Thank you for looking after my skin while I've been up a mountain. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, I hope you're getting some R&R, getting a little rest.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've got both my boys here. I had Brella and Lily here, but they've actually had to go back because they both got work, and I'm leaving. My last day is tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm keeping my eye on my boys. So far, so good. I've got Kit in a knee brace, but apart from that, everybody is okay.
And
nothing.
Do you ski?
I do, yeah. I was out this morning. I was putting it on my Instagram this morning, but the conditions were not very good this morning. So I actually thought, do you know what? I'm going to come back in. I'm just going to have a nice shower, wash my hair, get ready for my live, and not have to stress about, rushing down the mountain, because that's when accidents happen.
Yeah, I wish so much I had experienced skiing younger. I didn't ski for the first time until I was 24. And I, by then, was pretty clear that I could die. I'm sure I wasn't going to, but I was like this.
Yeah, that is an option.
Too late to the game. Not my thing.
I'm a very gentle skier. I tend to only go out when the conditions are really good, and I just kind of go from one little cafe to the next, and then say, "Listen, guys, I'll stay and mind the things, and you can go off and be extreme."
Yeah, I praise ski all day. That's me. You want me to make the food? I'm your girl. I'm a good one to travel with.
Well, enjoy the rest of your time in Spain. Thank you.
Your enjoy your trip
with discounts and your time. We really appreciate it too.
Absolutely. You guys have a great rest of your day, and drop us a message if you have any questions. We're here.
Lovely to hear that. Thanks so much, Misty. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye now. Oh, so interesting. Do you know, I love these lives with founders because I always learn something more. So OTG Complex, 7 skin stress solutions in the whole range. And if you want the whole little pack, that's what it comes in with your sachets to try. Isn't that clever? Wish more people did that. and a little cloth for the cleanser as well. Just before I sign off and say goodbye, if you saw my live here on Tuesday with another fab female founder, Grace from Studio 10, you will have seen me rave about this little beauty. This is the eyeshadow compact. I'm actually wearing it again today. I tried to recreate the look that Grace gave me. I am unbelievably addicted to this. This is the eyelid primer. So this you put onto your eyelids before you put your eyeshadow on, and it just evens out. It just kind of instantly brightens and makes your eyes look more youthful. It's extraordinary. Love it. So this, and you've got here your 4 shades. You've got 3 with a lovely little bit of soft shimmer, not too glittery, just a nice bit of shimmer, and that lovely soft matte that's easy to apply. Most mattes aren't. This is. So thank you very much for talking me through that, Grace. This is called, if you want to check it out on the website, Visible Lift Eye Radiance. That's what it's called. And that's Studio 10 Beauty, 20% off this little beauty with Liz Loves, and that's studio10beauty.com. Also to do with the eyes, just wanted to mention this, Upcircle. So I've been using the Upcircle sunscreen as well, which is a zinc-based sunscreen, which I really like. And this also came in my bag. This is the eye cream, and again, it's got hyaluronic acid. So if you're feeling a bit baggy or puffy under the eyes, this has hyaluronic acid and it has caffeine. So did you know that caffeine is actually a really good stimulant on the skin? So not only is it a great stimulant when we drink it, but if you pat it, particularly on areas of puffiness, it just can really help improve the visible signs of skin puffiness. And this actually is one of their all-time bestsellers and most highly repeated products. That shows you how well it works. So the eye cream from Upcircle, and they are a brilliant sustainable brand. You may have heard my podcast with their founder. I did a podcast for International Women's Day with Marcia Kilgore, founder of Beauty Pie, and also the founder of Upcircle. Do take a listen to that if you would like to. New episode, by the way, going live tomorrow of the podcast, if you're watching me in real time, with one of my favorite people, Kimberly Wilson, the psychologist stroke nutritionist, absolutely genius, talking about what we need to eat for our brains. Do please take a listen to that. One final thing. Magazine subscriptions are flying out the door. This is the beauty issue. Obviously, we've been focusing a lot on beauty recently. If you would like this, to subscribe to this and get a free Better You Lights Out spray, I would love to be able to show this to you. This helps you sleep. So we were talking with Misty about circadian rhythms and the importance of sleep for the skin. This is worth about £20. You get it free with your subscription to the magazine. And it contains 5-HTP, which is the precursor to melanin. That's the hormone that helps us to sleep. Now, you will notice that my packet is empty. That is because it's so effective that my lovely Brella, who was staying with me, sharing a room here, has actually gone home with it because she loves it and it's helping her sleep. So there you are, Brella. You're welcome. I hope you enjoy, but that's why I don't have it. Anyway, if you would like it and you would like it free, then you can get that with your subscription to the Earle Wellbeing magazine. You'll find all the details on our website. If you would just like to buy it on its own, because maybe you're already a subscriber or you don't fancy the magazine or whatever, then, oh, by the way, you also get 6 issues for the price of 5. So you get a free magazine as well as a free Lights Out. Then we do also have the Liz Loves discount on Better You. So if you want to buy anything from Better You, it's 15% off everything apart from their bundles and kits. And that includes all the vitamin D sprays and all of that, which I also have with me because I love them. Anyway, that is it for today. I will be back with you back in the UK on Tuesday, and we are going to be joined by the fabulous people from Mighty Brew. We're going to be talking kombucha. We're going to have a lesson in kombucha making, talking about scobies and gut health and all of that. Isn't that great? I love that, how we chop and change. There's always something going on here. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. That comes out free tomorrow. Everything for the weekend, LizEarleWellbeing.com is where you can sign up for that. It'll come free into your inbox at tea time tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely rest of the day. Thank you. Great to see you. Thank you for all your comments. Or you just reordered your Mighty Brew, have you, Pen? I love that so much. I'm looking forward to getting home to drinking it. I've missed it. I haven't had it here. So yeah, the first thing I do when I get back is going to have a glass of my Mighty Brew. Anyway, sending you lots of love. I'll see you next week. Bye.